Lions are for real. Lions are winning this division, I think, handily. I think they got the best defense in the division compared to the other guys. I think they have the most ceiling at everyone, and they're still growing. You know, a lot of these guys, this is like their second, third, fourth year, so they're only getting better. They got two or three of everything that they need. I feel like it's the most complete division, the complete team in that division.
Welcome into the Stand Bounce podcast of the people. I'm your host, Kari P, here alongside Howard K. Wall. How y'all doing?
What's up, yo?
What's going on, y'all? Good to be back. Gone for too long, but right in time for week one. Week one
Yeah,
of
man.
NFL kickoff.
Week one is here. It's on its way. Yo, we have one game on Thursday. We're gonna hit that real quick. What y'all think about that Chiefs Lion? How y'all feeling about the Lions this year?
Lions are for real. Lions are winning this division, I think, handily. I think they got the best defense in the division compared to the other guys. I think they have the most ceiling at everyone, and they're still growing. You know, a lot of these guys, this is like their second, third, fourth year, so they're only getting better. They got two or three of everything that they need. I feel like it's the most complete division, the complete team in that division.
Howard?
Um, Obviously, as a Bills fan, I'm ecstatic about that week one loss for the Chiefs, but I'm gonna pump the brakes a little bit on the Lions because the Chiefs were without two of the best players besides Pat Mahomes. So, yeah, I'm gonna pump the brakes a little bit. There was some questionable play calling too on both sides. Kadarius Toney, I don't know, he forgot how to catch the ball because if he would have caught one of those five passes, Chiefs probably win this game. But
It's all
pump the
right.
brakes.
Tony, I still believe in you. I still believe in you.
We'll
Okay, well,
see.
you still believe in Tony. Why? So why that big thing? Why you do to the stab to the heart just now?
Because, unfortunately for those who drafted Christian Watson, he got hurt. He's not playing this week. So it came down to Kadarius Tony or Isaiah Hodgson. And obviously, no Kelsey. I'm thinking, oh, Tony, he's going to go out there and, he's going to ball or at least do something. Drop after drop after drop. Well, the reason why I'm saying I still believe in him is because he was getting a lot of separation on his routes. He had the safeties crisscross. If he could have caught maybe two of those balls, we're looking at a good day from. And they kept going to him. They kept scheming stuff for him. Maybe it's not a necessity because he's their best, raw athlete that they have, playmaker, I guess. But the talent's there. It's just I don't know. Like I was explaining to you earlier, I don't know how missing training camp has to do with you catching the ball. So I don't buy that excuse that they're trying to frame from the he missed training camp. Because at the end of the day, dude, you're a professional wide receiver. Your sole job is to catch the football. So I don't know how you not being in training camp affects your ability to catch a football. Now, if the timing was off with him and Pat, or he was running routes wrong, or he wasn't getting out of his break quick enough to let the play develop or underdevelop, that's different. That's barely made him on training camp. Dude was beating folks wide open right here in the hands and was just dropping them. So I don't know. Maybe it was jitters. I thought the first one would have been jitters. If it was me personally, I would have changed gloves, went to the back, prayed or something like that, and came back out there and tried again. But it
So
is what it
so
is.
so I got three questions, right? The first two questions go together. Do y'all believe Jared Goff is legit? Do y'all feel like he can lead this team to the playoffs? And do y'all feel like the Lions will make the playoffs?
I personally think for what the Lions got going, I think Jared Goff he's good for them. He works for them. You know what I'm saying? He's a system QB. We've seen guys like that thrive in systems such as one like Jared Goff is in. But at the same time, it's kind of hard not to hit your receivers when you've got the ample amount of time his line gives them. So that's an advantage. But I think he's an average, above average quarterback in the league. It wasn't too long ago this guy took the Rams to the Super Bowl. You know,
So will the
so
Lions be number one in that division and make the playoffs?
I think so. I think they very well with Rodgers out of Green Bay, Chicago's on the way up, and I think Minnesota, their defense, Minnesota's gonna score like 50 points a game, 40 points a game, because the defense didn't get any better. If anything, it lost. You know, so I think I
What you
think
think?
there's a path for it.
What you think, Howard?
um, Jared Goff. Yeah, he can get busy in that offense. That offensive line, I honestly I think it's all has to do with the offensive line. They got two running backs. One Montgomery's proven. Gibbs looked electric last night. I'm kind of excited to see what he does. Amon-Ra St. Brown. They're getting Jameis Williams back. He can get busy in that offense. So yeah, I'll say he's legit. He's an above average quarterback. He's probably floating around 10, 11, maybe 9, best quarterback in the league. Um, Playoffs. I think they make the playoffs. Division, I don't know about that. I still think Captain Kurt and the boys. I think they are going to be able to win this division. They're probably going to lose one to the Fields and the Bears because that team is on the rise. I see them number 3 fighting for number 2, but I see the Lions going 10-7, sneaking in as a wild card, and that's a team you don't want to see in the playoffs. I'll tell you, with that coach and the way they play, you do not want to see a team like that, especially with Aiden Hutchinson. A lot of people don't talk about how he played. I mean, Juwan Taylor was off false start every single
Every single play. Every single
This
play.
man still got it done. So that's to me, that's scary. That is very, very scary.
Yeah,
So
I'm definitely on the same train as y'all. I think the Lions will make the playoffs. I actually think I don't know if I want to make this, but I think they do win the division. I
ooh,
think
I
they do
think they
win
do
the
too
division.
because even if they do win the division, they're the best team in the division. They're gonna go to the playoffs with nothing to lose
Yeah. I feel
because
like
we don't. We as the Detroit Lions that we've known or we were raised around. You know what I'm saying? They've been trash. You
oh
know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
oh
So
yeah.
that mentality for everyone in Detroit isn't like that, but everyone else around the league, they see the emblem. It's like, oh, dude, we're playing Detroit this week. This is easy. They go into every game like they've got nothing to lose. They went to Kansas City last night with nothing to lose.
yeah,
Win,
to
lose, or
me,
draw, they didn't care.
I think they're gonna make the playoffs. I think honestly, what's going to end up happening is they're gonna have the game over Minnesota, and they're gonna probably be tied, and they'll probably
And
have the game over them.
I think it comes down to strong coaching too. I think them dudes, like when you have an entire 53-man roster bought into the culture and bought into that coach, Dan Campbell was the perfect hire for them because
Oh
I
yeah.
feel like all those guys are like bought into his philosophy for the team.
So let's get over to the other side. This is the last question on this game. Do y'all think Kansas City make the playoffs and win their division?
They'll be fine.
Yeah, I ain't even
They'll be
gonna
fine because at the end of the day, even all the great stuff I said about Detroit, if Kadarius Tony catches that wide open pass, he's like
game.
he's freaking Euro step into the end zone. He's doing the Macarena in the end zone. Like that's what I was saying. He had the safeties twisted around all night long. He just couldn't catch it. But if he catches that, he's literally walking into the end zone, and that's probably might be game. But so you got to take it with a
Kyle,
grain of salt too, because a lot of those plays, a lot of drive killing plays at the hands of Kadarius Tony or
What
whoever
you
it
think?
was.
Obviously, Kadarius Tony. I mean, the interception for touchdown, which is 7 points for Lions. The drops. I mean, here's the thing. This is the NFL. Teams are gonna lose games, right? Kansas City lost the game. Yeah, they shouldn't have lost, but they had just as many chances to win that game as the Lions. It's gonna happen. And again, I talked about earlier. Didn't have Travis Kelsey. Didn't have Chris Jones. I'm not worried one bit. As much as I would like to sit here and say Kansas City's not going to make the playoffs and they're not going to win the division, it would be dumb for me to say it because they're going to win that division. They're going to make the playoffs. They're going to be a top 3 seed, and we're going to be talking about them well into January.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I feel
you
like
take that. Yeah, go ahead, Carl. My
I
bad.
feel like for all the mistakes that they made, they still only lost by 1 point.
Yeah,
One
that's what
You
I'm
point.
know,
saying.
You take that
so
pick
at the
six
end of
off
the
the
day,
board. You take that pick
yeah,
six off the board. They're winning. You know what I'm saying? They
at the
won.
end of the day, with that being said, like, yo, they're still a team, but I'm not gonna lie, they're not as strong as they have came in the last few years. You could tell there's a lot of holes in that offense, which is crazy. And hey, you can tell there's a lot of holes in that defense. I mean, they get Chris Jones back, they're going to pay him because we're probably gonna talk about this about Nick Bosa getting paid, which so I mean I feel like they're going to be okay, but they're going to make a trade. Mike Evans. I think they're going to have to go get Mike Evans. I think
You can
that's
see
going to
them.
have to.
They're gonna have to make a move or something
Yeah,
like that.
they got to do
They just
something.
they need an anchor in that receiving room.
Yeah, they can't just sit
They need a
tight.
go-to guy.
Because at this point they showed that like all right, their holes, if they can take away Kelsey, which is no easy task, if they can take away Kelsey, the rest of that receiving room is kind of lacking. It's not like the days of
Yeah,
having
facts. Because I
Kyrie.
mean, say what you want about Juju. You replaced Juju with Kadarius Tony last night. No training camp. I'm pretty sure Juju catches at least 2 of those passes because
Yeah,
those was on the money.
yeah,
I think any NFL caliber receiver would have caught those passes. I don't know
yeah,
what he
like
had going
you're
on, but
not going to say that you're an NFL wide receiver and you can't like there are basic passes. Even the one where who was it? Scott Moore that ran in front of him.
yeah.
Yeah.
Even that one, like you can't get distracted as an NFL wide receiver. It doesn't make sense. But let's move on. We're gonna hit some of the more important games this weekend. We ain't gonna be able to hit all of them. But let's go with
Carolina,
Dolphins.
Atlanta.
Oh, Carolina, Atlanta. All right, we can talk a little Carolina. You know, I'm always down to talk about Carolina.
Let's
And
hit
so we
the
got,
let's
we,
let's let's hit the important games, like the ones we think are going to be like a slugfest or like
yeah,
have real implications, and then we'll hit our own personal teams. But we can save our personal teams for the end. So you can go with what you had. Sorry.
okay, cool. So the first game I kind of want to look at is let's talk about 49ers Steelers.
Ooh, see, I got a hot take
Mm,
to this fight.
this is a good
What
one.
what
Yeah, this
what are
is gonna
you,
be.
Howard? Come on, tell me your hot take. What are you feeling about this 49ers Steelers?
I feel like the Steelers are gonna win this game. I
Mm.
feel like it is a trap. Because everyone, when I first saw this, I thought to myself, like, damn, Steelers, that's a tough matchup. And then I thought about it, and I'm like, wait a second, they're at home. It's Mike Tomlin, and last year, I remember correctly, Mike Tomlin went on the road and upset the Bengals with Mitchell Trubisky and a really bad team. And I'm thinking about it. I'm like, man, Nick Bosa just signed that big contract. Brock Purdy's coming back from injury. We still haven't seen what he looks like. Steelers are going to be fully healthy. I feel like this is a trap. This is an absolute trap. And I love Mike Tomlin. I love what he does. And in the beginning of the season, he's one of the hardest coaches to beat because he's going to show up with a well coached team that's going to play really, really hard. Not every team is going to be coached to perfection. They're going to make mistakes. Steelers won't make that many mistakes. They might make 2 the whole game.
So
So
speaking of that contract, 170 million
yeah,
over 5 years, 122 guaranteed.
nah, hey,
Yo,
Hey, good for him. Hey, good for him. Good for him. There's some quarterbacks that don't even make that kind of money. Good for him.
yeah, he just set
Good
the
for
market.
him.
What are you thinking about this game, Farewell?
So, at first glance, I was like, oh, Niners, Steelers. Niners. They got a good defense. They got all the weapons you could want. And then I did like what Howard said. I started really like thinking. I'm like, well, hold on. This in Pittsburgh. This is week 1. Mike Tomlin had all his dogs get a full training camp healthy. Offense is a little bit better. They made some improvements. It's Mike Tomlin. So at the end of the day, you already know he's going to come. Even if he's walking there with us 3 as his core starting player, he's going to have us ready to play. You know what I'm saying? With that said, it's going to be a chess match. With that said, I wouldn't be surprised if the Steelers win. But, I just feel like the star talent on the Niners can cause a lot more problems than what the Steelers have to offer the Niners on defense. So with the ever slight edge, I'm gonna go with the Niners, but I would not be
Mm.
surprised if the Steelers win this ball game.
So this is a game of defense. I feel like the defensive player of the year coming from one of the two sides.
right.
Either TJ or
Exactly.
Nick. I feel like the defensive player of the year gonna come from one of the two sides. When it comes down to it, even though Brock has proven more and he got a lot of more weapons, I still feel like Kenny Pickett is more talented.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Pickett's more talented, but Kyle Shanahan is gonna do everything he can, which is gonna be hard against the Steelers because they exploit, indignant indifferences within the defense. I think Shanahan's gonna do his best to hide Brock Purdy's inefficiencies and put the
Brock
ball
Purdy
in
got all the
McCaffrey's
weapons.
hand or Debo's hands. Somebody, I don't know.
He got all the weapons. But let me ask y'all. I'm on this game. Let me ask y'all. For this year, which receiver do you have more faith in? Do you have more faith in Pickens or do you have more faith in Ayuk?
Oh, Pickens. What?
I think the
Like,
sky's the limit for Pickens, bro. I
hmm,
think I think
yeah.
Pickens. I think give it a year or two, you're gonna be talking about Justin Jefferson, George Pickens, Jamar Chase as your
Yeah.
top guy. I think the sky is the limit. This dude, I don't see no holes in his game except for inexperience. That's about it.
Okay, so
You
let
know,
me ask, are Pickens or Debo?
Pickens.
Oh wow,
At this stage of his career, Debo is more versatile, but I think he's starting to slow down a little bit.
Yeah,
wow.
I'll pick Pickens too.
Okay,
I
Now,
love
what
a
they said
Pickens.
about Ayuk though, Ayuk is a very talented receiver too, and he possesses a lot of the same traits as Pickens does. It's just Pickens just tips the scale because he's got a lot more agility and athleticism.
do you feel like they're going to scheme him up more this year?
Oh
Pickens,
yeah, what?
you got to use him. Yeah,
Because
that.
you know
Right.
y'all they do a lot of underneaths and just whatever with Deontay Johnson. Do you think this year is going to be the year that they? Well, I mean, obviously he only had 1 year, but do you think this year he'll finally start getting schemed up more and allowing him to break out like he needs to, or what do you think?
Yeah, hell yeah. They're gonna do it like Dallas did when they first bring CD along. Deontay is gonna be the point of focus, maybe. You know what I'm saying? And they're gonna let, which was like Amari Cooper, and then they're gonna let George Pickens loose. He's gonna be the one taking go routes and big crosses across the middle because you want to get the ball in his hands and let him do something with in space, or you want to throw him them jump balls or something down the sideline. Deontay Johnson has the surest hands of anybody on the team, but you could start using him a little bit more as a decoy to scheme up Pickens as your second read or your 1A, 1B read. But I think Pickett is in a good position to put up some great numbers this year if he can work through his progressions and work through his reads. The only thing I'm worried about is the line. That's why I'm taking the Niners in this game, is because yeah, Pittsburgh's got TJ Watt, but the Niners got probably arguably the best tackle in the league in Trent Richardson. I don't know what the Steelers are gonna do with Bosa and Fred Warner and all them boys coming off the edge and everything like that.
So, all right, cool. Let's move on. So this is a game to me that is interesting because we got up and coming like fringe top five quarterback and Trevor Lawrence, and he's going against the number 4 pick in the draft, Anthony Richardson. What y'all think about this? Jaguars Colts. Jaguars had some pickups over the offseason. Well, not necessarily over the offseason, but haven't really coming back. You know, they were a fringe team last year. I feel like Trevor Lawrence is he's right there. He top 10 quarterback, but he's on the edge of becoming top 5 if he can have a good year. What y'all thinking about this?
I will say this: Howard got in my head earlier, and I see it. I see it. The writing's on the wall. This is if you look up trap game in a betting dictionary, this game would be the trap game because either two things gonna happen, right? Jags are gonna come out there and they're gonna roll them like everyone expects, or the Jags are gonna come out there and they're gonna fuck it up, and the Colts are gonna take that mentality like we just talked about with the Lions with nothing to lose because there's no Jonathan Taylor, rookie quarterback. You know what I'm saying? He don't have the greatest room of receivers. Defense is a little bit depleted. A couple guys got hit with that gambling stuff on the Colts side of the ball. But this is the Jags games to lose. The Jags, all the pressures on the Jags with the, like you said, Trevor Lawrence coming into a new year, Calvin, all their new shiny toys, the guys they drafted. Defense looks rock solid. So I think the Jags can win this game in all facets of it, but it's their game to lose. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Colts snuffed them at home or something like that. It's football. Anything can happen.
Ah, so here's the thing about this game. Colts are 9-10 against the Jacksonville Jaguars of last 10 games at home. Trevor Lawrence. Now, I do think he's great. I think he's going to be a great talent in the league, and I don't think this stat will hold up very long. But as of right now, when he is favored in a game, he is 1-5. That's his record. And what he's been doing is 2 touchdowns and 5 interceptions.
Hmm.
When he's not favored, he's 7-5, and I think he's almost a 3-to-1 touchdown ratio quarterback, touchdowns to interception. Here's the thing about the Colts: they're feisty. Defense is still there. Defense is still there. It's at home now. They're getting plus 4.5 if you're a gambler at home. So that I'm gonna hit the Colts plus 4.5 because I think they win this game. I do. I think it's a trap. And I think the Jaguars stumble out the gate, and I think they gain confidence from it. But yeah, this one's a trap game. I just have this feeling that Anthony Richardson. Here's the other thing. On the other side of the ball, Anthony Richardson. We have college tape. We don't have NFL tape. We don't know how he's going to look in this offensive coordinator. We have no idea what they're going to do. And the Colts are going to use that to their advantage. Expect a lot of QB prowess. Expect a lot of escapability from him. He's going to try and find Pittman and Alec Pierce on. It's a close game. I want to say 20-14, 20-17. And I like the Colts.
So I don't really know your take on it, Howard, but me and K-Wall had conversations, before our fantasy draft, where he was feeling like, okay, I'm really not gonna really be that guy this year. Well, not that he's not gonna be the guy, but
Yeah, yeah.
he's not gonna be as hyped, he has,
No,
projected.
yeah.
So let me ask y'all, who y'all got more faith in this year? Do y'all got more faith in Pittman or Ridley?
Oh, Ridley. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think
Pittman
I
makes a
think
lot of
Ridley
questions.
Ridley Ridley has like it all comes down to quarterback. Ridley, he might start out slow because it's been like almost 2 years. He's got to work his way into offense and find his role. But really, I mean, this guy was a Pro Bowl receiver. This dude can put up stupid numbers if he wants to. You know, Pittman, I think Pittman has the best path to out catch him, like receptions wise. Because I mean, who's he competing with in Indianapolis? And if he can make a report, Richardson, he could be his first, second, and third look. And Pittman possesses the skill to separate and get open. He's a big receiver with a nice catch radius. So same thing we was talking about Pickens. You throw him the ball, a jump ball, a 50-50 ball, Pittman can go up there and get it. So, but I think Ridley has the easier path to better numbers, but I wouldn't be surprised if Pittman out caught him though.
Hey man, okay, well you keep giving these 50-50s, man. We need direct answers. My man Howard over here sitting here saying who he feel.
I
Who
feel
I feel,
Calvin
all right,
Ridley.
who I feel. I think Pittman has a better season on paper. I
Ooh.
think Ridley has a more successful season, like within the team's ecosystem.
All right.
Everyone plays their part in that team, down to the running backs, the tight end, him and Christian Kirk. They feed off each other. Everyone has a great year, but as far as numbers, stat wise, I think Pittman can outpace him. If he's just that number one guy, they just force feeding him in Indiana.
Cool.
Pause.
So we're gonna move on to the AFC North. We got the Bengals versus the Browns. And for me, and I'm gonna go ahead and put this out. This is my early MVP candidate. My early MVP is Joe Burrow. I feel like Joe Burrow
Oh,
is the year for Joe Burrow to win the MVP. But
That's pretty zesty.
hey man, I'm gonna go ahead and go out there on the ledge, man. I might be right, I might be wrong. Who knows? We'll see. So in this game, I feel like the excuses are gone for Deshaun Watson. I feel like okay, last year was his time over. He took all the time off. I feel like Deshaun Watson don't got no more excuses. It's time for him to live up to that contract. And then we got the Bengals, who I feel like, could obviously be Super Bowl contenders. But what y'all think about this game?
I think for the Browns, it's put up or shut up time. You know what I'm saying? That roster, they've had this roster ready to win for years now, and they're only getting older. So this is now or never. And this would be a good way to set the standard for the league if they can go out there and they can smack the Bengals in the mouth, because it's not like they don't possess the ability with the players that they have on defense to shut a team down. They could goose egg any team in this league if they really could lock down that run game and stop that run game. And I'm guessing they probably addressed that in the draft or through free agency probably. But I think that the Bengals pull this one off. I think just the continuity that team has and that they've been there. They've won big games. But I mean, I don't think it's going to be an easy lick. I think it's going to go down to the wire. It could end by a field goal, or I think whatever team makes the mistake could be crucial in this game. And I trust the Browns defense more than I trust the Bengals defense, but I trust the Bengals offense way more than I trust the Browns offense. Way more weapons, way more things to look at and stop. So yeah, I'm going to go to the Browns in this one. I mean the Bengals in this one.
so
Howard?
I know it might seem like I'm just all for the underdog today, but I think the Browns win this game. I really don't think it's that like
That Lion stuff got him messed up.
no. Here's the thing. So Joe Burrow, he obviously got injured in training camp, preseason. He's gonna be a little rusty. I don't care. You're gonna be a little rusty. You're going up against a Browns team that's at home. And like you said, their back is up against the damn wall. If there ever is a term for that. Like they have been up against the wall for so long. I just with Nick Chubb, Deshaun Watson, Amari Cooper, that defensive line, I just I think this game it's a slugfest. Not in the fact that it's gonna be high scoring. It's gonna be a down and dirty who's more physical. And I think the Browns come out and they're a little bit more physical. I like the Browns to win this game 24-20. I like
Mm.
this. I just think I don't know if they take the Bengals, take the AFC North from them. I don't think so. But this division's hard. And the Bengals, we've seen them start slow. They've almost started slow the last 3 years, if I remember correctly. They I don't think it doesn't affect them that much. It sucks to lose, but yeah, I like the Browns. This is a Browns game. Show some love to Cleveland.
Okay. I'm
Some valid points. Some valid points.
it's valid. I just, I'm gonna go with the Bengals. I think the Bengals gonna win. I know it's the Browns defense is nice, I know, but
I mean,
truthfully what I
that Bengals defense ain't ass either. You
yeah,
know what I'm
that's what
saying?
I'm
They
saying.
got
And truthfully
playmakers
what I
too.
think it's gonna come down to is which quarterback do I feel like will make the mistake. And I feel like there's a better chance that Deshaun Watson make the mistake than Joe Burrow. So I'm gonna go with the Bengals 31-21.
Because you gotta think for
Truthfully.
Joe
Whoa,
Burrow too.
whoa!
You gotta think though for Joe Burrow too, bro. Somebody's always gonna be open. There's no way you're
Yeah.
gonna lock down
Fact.
Jamar and T and Irv Smith and Joe Mixon out the backfield. Like somebody's always gonna be open.
You
You know
know
what I'm
what's
saying?
crazy?
They
It's
they
like we just forgot about Tyler Boyd. Like he just a
Yeah,
nothing.
Tyler Boyd. Yeah.
Yo,
Tyler Boyd.
yo,
Somebody will always be open.
so
all
you
right,
think they beat them
cool,
by 10. By 10
cool.
points.
So for me, right now, it's time. I'm about to bring out. This is my Sunday shootout game. The Sunday shootout will be the Dolphins versus the Chargers. Every week, I'm gonna give one game that I feel like is gonna be the Sunday shootout. And for this week, the Sunday shootout will be the Dolphins versus the Chargers. I feel like this is going to be a high scoring game. I feel like you can say what you want about Tua, but he gonna get the ball into his playmakers' hands. And as a quarterback, that's all you can ask for. Justin Herbert, he's a top 5 quarterback at the time, and he got all the weapons. So I feel like this is going to be the Sunday shootout. This is going to be a high scoring game. Let me ask y'all what y'all think.
I think this one's gonna be a banger. And I think the offense on both sides cancel each other out because whatever the Dolphins do, the Chargers can do. Whatever the Chargers do, the Dolphins can do. No one really has that much of an edge over each other at the position players. Obviously, the Chargers have the better all-around quarterback, but at the same time, the offense that the Dolphins have, it just takes someone competent to put the ball in the hands of those guys, and they're going to do the rest with the yak. I think it comes down to defense, and I give the slight edge to defense to the Dolphins because that's a very violent unit. Bro, what are you talking about? Don't even do that. You know firsthand how violent that defense can be. You know what I'm saying? And that Chargers offensive line is still shaky. Yeah, they got Slater, but that line is still shaky. The other 4 positions. The Chargers, yeah, they got Bosa, they got Derwin James.
Derwin James.
Derwin James, yeah, Derwin James.
Yeah,
And you got to think
real
though,
violent
Derwin James,
players.
yeah, I said as a unit, that Dolphins team is violent. They get after it. They take chances. I'm thinking it's going to come down to the defense, and I like the Dolphins to pull off the upset in SoFi.
Albert, what you thinking on this game?
See, everyone thinks it's gonna be a high scoring game. I actually think both defenses play well. I'm not gonna shade the Dolphins like that. I think both defenses play well. I think they play so damn well. And this game is 17-20. This game, there's gonna be a lot of yards, there's not gonna be a lot of points. They're going to make mistakes. They're going to give up 20, 30 yards, but the points, it's going to be a premium. I see this game. It's too early for this to be a 40,
So you
30 game.
think when they get to the red zone, you think that's where the defenses on both
Oh,
sides
yeah.
are going to make this? I can see that happening too. I can see them making their stands once they get
Oh,
to the
yes.
30s, 20s, and this could be a field goal fest.
So let me ask you, and this is a serious question. With Jalen Ramsey been out the first few weeks, Are you telling me Eli Apple is about to shut down T. Higgins?
See, that's
Well, no, they still got Xavier Howard. I don't think
But
you're
he's
gonna
going
shut
to
down.
guard Jamar Chase. I
No,
said
you're
whoa,
no,
whoa,
no,
Eli.
no.
whoa,
There's no
yeah,
look. There's no stopping. No, I never said that. There's no stopping. Would you
Keenan
No,
Jamar
Allen.
Chase?
Yeah.
Xavier Howard is going to have to be on. He's going to have to follow Jamar Chase.
Hey, this is the Chargers,
It's
bro.
it's the Chargers.
Oh shit! No, Eli. No, Eli Apple signed with the Miami.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know.
but
You're
I'm
talking about the
tripping. I'm
Bengals
tripping. I'm
receivers.
tripping. Yeah, I'm tripping. I'm thinking about Eli
Where's
Apple
the
with the
overload?
Bengals. I'll think about the Eli. But either way, Eli Apple gonna stop Mike Williams.
No, I
I
mean
don't think so.
you
You,
gotta see with Mike Williams on that side. Whatever field Mike Williams does, dude, you're gonna have to drop that safety back like blanket covers because he gonna run by Eli Apple and get down the field. Keenan, they'd be smart to work Keenan in the slot and move him out as the game progresses and see how much he could get away with that nickel corner, and then put Quentin Johnson out there. But I think the X factor for the Chargers will be is Eckler using him in the pass game, let him get out in space, and then it all comes down to whose line is going to hold up. And I think the Chargers line ain't going to hold up against the Dolphins defense. That boy Jalen Phillips is a monster.
look, I think it's gonna be a shootout, bro. I think it's gonna be some
It could be either or. It could be a
head
shootout.
tapping.
It could
I
be it's
feel
gonna be a lot of plays being made, but I think defensive wise, both defenses are good. But remember, this is the same Chargers team that blew a however many point lead to Jacksonville with them same guys that we're talking about being playmakers and locking them down. And Jacksonville didn't nearly have what Tua has in Miami. And this is the same Miami team that didn't lose anything except gain Ramsey, but he never played, so you got to cancel that one out. That held the Bills. They almost beat the Bills with a third string quarterback. No slight to you, Howard, but I'm just being honest. That defense balled out last year. They create a
right.
lot of
Scored 30
turnovers.
points.
They cause a lot of pressure to the quarterback. And you've seen Herbert under pressure. He makes mistakes. He's not inhuman. He makes a lot of mistakes too. Now, if he could take that step forward and just throw it out of bounds instead of trying to force it, maybe. But I'm gonna take the Miami Dolphins, and those are my reasons why.
All right, cool. So one more game before we get into our hometown teams. Let me ask y'all the night game, the Cowboys versus the Giants. We got, Dak coming back. He got something to prove. Obviously, the Cowboys brought in what looks to be their future quarterback, sitting behind
Trey
that. And Trey Lance, yes. And then you got the Giants, who, Saquon got something to prove. He basically going to prove it here. So he got to go get it done again, which is crazy. He got to get it done again in order to get paid. Danny Dimes got paid this all season. It's still the same old wide receivers. They didn't really upgrade him in the wide receiver. They got him Darren Waller. But what y'all thinking about this game, Cowboys versus Giants?
This is like the poor man's version of that Steelers San Francisco game because both teams possess really good defenses and both teams have weapons on offense. I just don't trust Dak and the Cowboys. I can see Dak making some stupid ass mistakes, stupid ass plays or whatever like that. I think the G-men get it done. I think the G-men get it done in New York.
Let me ask you. Let
This
me
will
just
be
ask
low
you this.
scoring. This will be low. I can see this one being 17-10 or 17-14.
Let me throw this question out earlier because I said from that Steelers 49ers game, the defense player you're going to come from that. Let me ask y'all about Michael Parsons. Do y'all feel like he got a chance at this?
Oh, yeah. What?
What?
Pencil
What do
that
y'all
name up there.
What do
Dude,
y'all think the step is for this year? His next step for this year will be.
It depends on what he wants to do. If he wants to break the sack record, I think he could do it. If he wants to be all over the field and just wreak havoc like that, I think he could do it. It's whatever he wants to do. You know what I'm saying? I think Michael Parsons is, dude, generational. And I know we thought that on a lot, but I think like he legit is like generational.
So pick one out of them three players. We got T.J. Watt, we got Nick Bosa, and we got Michael Parsons. Who y'all think would be defensive player of the year?
Parsons. Parsons will stay healthier longer. Both of them dudes are going to get hurt at some point. They always do. No knock to them. They're incredible players, but I think Parsons can do a full 16, 17, 18 games.
Howard?
I like TJ. I think he's
I mean, there's no wrong answers with these.
Yeah,
definitely. Really is.
I think he's just primed to get it like his brother.
I think I want to lean more towards Nick, which is nice. We all got different answers, so I guess we'll see at the end of the year. But I'm gonna lean more towards Nick because I feel like with the pieces around him on that defense, it's gonna lead to him getting way more sacks. Which
That's what makes Parsons so great, though.
yeah,
You know what I'm
he
saying?
got
You don't
yeah.
have nothing like that on the line.
Nah, he
Them
still
guys are
got
gone. I mean, he got Demarcus Lawrence, but I
yeah,
mean, he
DeMarcus.
ain't what he used to be. You know, Randy Gregory's in Denver now, but that's what makes him so great is because even with the double teams or the little the tight end when he hits him first and then the double team comes, he still finds a way to either hurry the pass or make the quarterback, you know, try to force the ball somewhere, and that's where turnovers come from. So,
All right. Well,
you know.
so what do you think about this game before we move on, Howard? Cowboys
Yeah,
or Saints?
give me them boys. Give me them boys. I'm not a big Cowboys fan. Everyone knows that. I'm not a huge Dak fan. Everyone knows that. But yeah, give me them boys. The problem here is
Give him to me.
Darren Waller being questionable. That really like they need him in the worst way to keep this game close because Daniel Jones just doesn't have anything. I don't know what they signed him this huge contract with not having it. They let Richie James go, who is his like slot guy, and I don't know why they let him go. They have Isaiah Hodgins, which I mean he showed some talent last year, but Saquon, I just
They got Darius Slayton, you know, Sterling Shepard's coming back,
stop
you
it.
What
know.
about the rookie Jalen Hyatt
You got
from
Jalen
Tennessee?
Hyatt.
No.
Questionable. That's all question. Dak on the other side, he's got proven CeeDee Lamb. Michael Gallup. I like Michael Gallup. I think he's actually pretty good.
Brandon
Gallup.
Cooks.
Brandon
Brandon
Cook,
Cooks. He's got
Schultz.
Tony Pollard.
Now
Schultz
Schultz
ain't
went
there
to
no more.
Houston, didn't
Yeah. Schultz ain't there no more.
Schultz left?
he? He
Oh,
went to
damn.
Yeah,
Houston.
he's Houston. And he just got more talent. I just think that talent, they win this game. And it might be a landslide. I got 28-13. I think Dable kind of gets smoked in the face a little bit this first week. I think the Cowboys give him that work.
So what you trying to say, Howard? There's only one team in New York,
Hey, there is only one team in New York, and we all know that. And it's the
and that's
Buffalo
the
Bills.
Jets. I mean, I'm off.
Oh, here we
No.
go.
All right. Let's go to all right. We're gonna hit K-Wall's home team.
Woo.
Oh my
We gonna go in. We gonna hit Arizona versus Washington. So the Commanders coming in, they got Sam Howell, who is he's not a rookie, but you know it's basically his first full year of starting. He's getting a chance, and we get Josh Dobbs to be the
Yeah.
starter in Arizona. Um, I mean, this game, I feel like it's just a game that need to be played, that got to be played. I don't feel like either of these teams really got hopes as far as this year coming along.
Bro, I just stopped it there, bro. This is to the true lifers right there, like to my core, it's a slap in the face. This is what we're rolling out week 1. But on the flip side, if we continue to roll this squad out and we lose, say 14 games, we can get that number 1 pick, you know, it's a success, right? Is there any way and chance the Cardinals can win this game? It's the NFL. Anything can happen. Yes. Do I think so? Absolutely not. I can see the Commanders' defense going out there goose egging them because they're fully healthy. That defense is nasty. I can see if Sam Howell is anything like what he was at North Carolina with McLaurin, Dotson, Gibson, Robinson, Thomas. He's got Samuel. He's got pieces to work around that all do three different things that complement each other. Yeah, they can go out there and they could roll them 38 to 0, 30s, 20s to 0 or something like that. Maybe they sneak one. Maybe Connor pounds one in or something like that. But other than that, I don't think the Cardinals in any way, shape, or form can win this one. And that's coming from a fan. But I'm not gonna get bent out of shape about it because I'm looking to the future. If there's light at the end of the tunnel if we lose every game. You know what I'm saying?
You know
I've
what?
never rooted for tanking so hard in my life. You know what I'm saying?
You know what, K-Wall? I'm just happy that you're back being a fan. I'm happy to see that you got your team back. I know last year you took you a little year off.
I
You
took a
couldn't
year
take
off
the,
thinking that things would be different. It was the same. Saved myself a
but
lot of stress.
you also gotta look at it like this. You know, if y'all lose this season, y'all got your left tackle of the future in the draft. So I mean, which is good if y'all do get Caleb Williams. Y'all at least y'all
No, I
started
just
building.
want us to get Caleb Williams and Marvin Harrison Jr. Start fresh, cut all those expensive contracts, and just start over. There's no shame in it. There's no
No,
shame in
no
it. Just
shame at
start
all.
over. The
Howard,
fans
you
will
got
still
any?
come to the games. That's what these owners don't understand. Like if they don't put a supreme squad out there, no one's gonna show up. People will still come to those games. It's
Yeah,
more for the experience than it is watching them win because we all know deep down they're not gonna win shit. They never have. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
just do right by us. Just do right by us and lose every game. Do us a
They need
favor.
they need to write about the players as we were talking the other day. Stop making them pay for their food. Howard, what you think about that?
Free
The
Buddha.
first time,
Free Buddha
yeah.
too.
You know, I'm a big underdog guy. I try and find storylines. I try and find something because I do like to gamble a little bit. So whenever I see a plus line like we got here, let me
Please
see
don't.
this
Please don't.
plus
Don't do
line
this to yourself.
plus 260. That's pretty good. But damn, I searched, I looked, and I just couldn't find a damn thing to
There's no
point
edge.
in
They
the
hold no
yeah.
edge over them.
There's not one edge on that team. There's not one position on the football team. So yeah, man, this one gonna get ugly. The Commanders are gonna get busy, which is good because they're gonna get rolled on this year. Commanders are gonna get played a little bit this year. So this for their fans is gonna be nice to get out and get a good smack them in the face win. For Josh Dobbs, yeah, good luck. Don't look too bad because Clay Tooney's gonna take that job from you, which I don't know if that means anything. But
That's a
yeah,
win-win for you,
And
though.
Howard, who is one of your starting quarterbacks?
I got
And
both them fools. I got
who?
both
But I'm
them.
just
I was
saying
gonna say it
who.
don't matter. It's a win-win. He got the whole
Yeah,
quarterback. It's a
I'm just
win-win.
asking who are you starting this week at quarterback in your?
Josh Dobbs.
Hey
I'm
man, hey,
starting Josh Dobbs and CJ Stroud. It's a little
Now, if
tough.
Josh Dobbs go out there, and ball out, we're all gonna look like idiots.
we don't
All right,
look crazy,
and
but
he gonna
hey
look like a
man,
genius. He gonna look like a genius, and there's a world where that could possibly happen. So,
Not this world though. That's the problem.
no part to you.
Yeah. So yeah.
and I saw something. I saw something yesterday. I was just scrolling on like Facebook or something, and I saw something yesterday like popped up where Arizona named Kyler as a starter, which means he could come back later in the season. Who knows? I mean, not starting. They named him as a captain. My bad. They named him as a captain, which means who knows?
I
He
mean,
might.
how bad of a look? You, I mean, you still got to play the game. How bad of a look would it be not to name him the captain of the team? Because then that just says, yeah, he's definitely not coming back. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah,
know,
I mean. I guess. All right. Well, moving on, we're gonna get into my Carolina Panthers, who had the number one overall pick this
Yeah.
year in Bryce Young. And we we the crazy part is even right now we still got hope in our division, which is okay. I can do it. We got a chance to make playoffs, but we're gonna be playing against a divisional foe in the Atlanta Falcons. I think we win this game, honestly. I feel like Bryce, during the preseason, he didn't really have a bunch of numbers. He didn't really throw many touchdowns and all that. But I think it was good to get it under his feet. The thing I like about Bryce, well, the thing I don't like about Bryce is his size. But the thing I do like is even though he was taking them hits, he was getting right back up, which you got to hope for every time. Every time one of them big guys fall on him, I got to pray that he stand back up. But I like the fact that he looks unbothered every time. I feel like it's a good start. The last number one overall quarterback that we drafted got us to one Super Bowl. If Bryce can get us to a Super Bowl and hopefully win this one, I'll be happy. So let me ask y'all, how y'all feeling about this game? Oh, well, let me talk about the other side too. Desmond Ritter coming in, getting his first year of starting. You know, he got pieces in Drake London, Cal Pitts. The defense is
Bijan.
revamped for Atlanta this year, which is good. They brought in Jesse Bates. They brought in corners. So, what are y'all feeling about this game?
I've flip flopped this game like literally like maybe every hour I look at it. At one point, at 1 second, I'm like, oh, Atlanta, they got Bijan, they got Drake, they got Kyle Pitts. The defense added Calais Campbell, Jeff Okuda, my boy, shout out, and then they added Jesse Bates. Now, the other side, I'm like, well, Carolina, I mean, the defense has been ready for years now. That defense was ready. It's been. I told Howard this earlier today. That defense has been ready to win meaningful games for years now, and they ain't lose nothing. That defense is deep. You know what I'm saying? I don't think there's a position that the Falcons possess on their defense that they could say they have an edge in over the Carolina, because not only do they have studs at their positions on defense. They have a platoon. They have guys that they can run a rotation. And I think I could see Carolina scratching more points off the Falcons defense than I could see Atlanta scratching more points off of Carolina's. Not because the lack of talent, like we always say, it always comes down to the quarterback. You know what I'm saying? I got to see it from Ritter at first, so I'm not gonna roll the dice. I know they're at home and then they're a dome, but playing in a dome doesn't really. It kind of benefits both sides of the team. You know what I'm saying? So I think I'm with you. I think Carolina could actually sneak them this first one because there's a lot of momentum behind Atlanta. There's a lot of people hyping them up or like that. Like I said, they have everything to lose. Carolina, they got the number one guy, and they're framing it up that they're going the slow, steady route. But I think they could come in there and smack him in the mouth, low key.
Before you go, Howard, real quick. Speaking of that defense, me and Howard was on the phone the other day and almost cried when I saw Nick Bosa contract because we didn't get
Yeah.
Brian Burns done yet. So we know we about to have to pay that man. He was looking at
Tears.
27 to 28. He was looking for 27, 28 a year, but that just went up to at least 32 to
Yeah.
35. But yeah, nah.
Well,
So Brian Burns, he gonna get paid soon, which is not gonna be good. But let me ask you, Howard, what you thinking about this game?
you know, I'm kind of with y'all in the same thing. I'm riding the Panthers, and here's the reason why. It's coaching. Last year the Falcons had almost the same talent on offense, and minus Bijan, which Bijan's obviously a great talent. And Arthur Smith is just a horrible play caller. Like I don't understand. He's had Kyle Pitts for a while. He had Drake Leonard, and they just don't use these guys. So I just don't have faith in Arthur Smith's play calling at all. If you remember him in Tennessee, I don't know why people were calling him a guru. All he did was hand it to Derrick Henry, and he did the rest. That's not very hard to do. I could scheme that up. Yeah, and then flip side, Carolina, Thielen, Chark. One thing I really love is I don't know if you guys remember this. Obviously, Pettigrew does. But last year when Carolina ripped on that little ride they went at the end of the year to maybe get in the playoffs, they leaned into that running game, and I see them doing that heavy this game. And they had Devonta Foreman. He's solid. I like him. Now they got Miles Sanders. You know what I mean? That's a little bit of an upgrade. He can
Yeah,
catch the ball. He can run the ball. So I think they lean into that run a little bit. And it's gonna be a fun game to watch. I like 31-24, but I like the Panthers because I think that run game it makes a difference at the end of the game there.
and we got them bowling, and we got a bowling ball and Chuba right behind
Oh
us.
yeah, come on now.
Yeah,
So
and I think let me just say this last thing with Atlanta. I think they will be good, decent at some point in the season, but I think there's gonna be a lot of growing pains because there's a lot of like first time starting, first game guys coming out there, first time with a new team. Like you can simulate all you want in practice, but the real game at full speed against another team trying to take your head off or like that, it brings a no whole another level of anxiousness and jitters. So I think it'll take some time, but I think Atlanta's doing the right thing and they're on the right path to becoming successful. But the continuity of Carolina on defense, I think, is the scale tipper because those guys have been playing together for like 3 years and they're just chomping at the bit to go out there and play. And I think they can honestly, hold them to like 14 points and they could probably sneak this one out in Atlanta.
so I had the Dolphins and the Chargers as my Sunday showdown, but I'm saying the Bills and the Jets is the game of the week. So for the game of the
Woo!
week, Howard, let's get
Boy,
into the
you're
game
up
of the week.
already.
It's Bills versus Jets.
There was
Tell
Jets
me what you're
heavy.
thinking about this. So right in this game, we got Josh Allen coming back for another season. Even though, over the all season we saw Diggs wasn't too happy with him. He's still there. You know, y'all still got Gabe Davis, which, at the end of the day, he may not be an elite receiver, but he's a burner. He can get out there. Y'all defense is coming back. You know, I think we talked about this yesterday where you said they're not necessarily bringing Vaughn back right now, but still, y'all defense is still solid. Uh, I don't know if Tremaine Edmonds' loss is going to be a big deal for y'all, but I mean, we're going to see. And then on the other side, we got the Jets, who, obviously they upgraded their quarterback. They brought in that boy, Aaron Rodgers. We got Garrett Wilson coming into another year, Ohio State boy for K-Wall, who is looking like he's going to be a number one receiver this year. He got pieces around him. As far as Lazard, as I said, not elite, but he can do his thing. And then that defense is looking legit. Quinn Williams, one of the better D tackles in the league, and so on this the game of the
Sauce Gardner.
Sauce Gardner, my fault, also one of the best corners in the league. So with this game, what are you thinking? Or game of the week?
Here's something. I know everyone's on the hype train. Jets, this, that. You know what? They did get better, but here's the big problem. It's week 1, and they're going up against a team that has been together. The core has been together for almost 6 years. I think it's 5 years now. We got this core together. Coach has been here for 7. We've played these type of games last year. Week 1. Oh, they're going against the Rams, Super Bowl champs. We smacked them. We went in there and smacked them. Now, do I think we go into New Jersey, not New York? Remember that. New Jersey, and smack the New Jersey Jets? No. I think we win this game, and it's solely because we've been together. We've played in big moments, and James Cook, he's going to be a factor. We haven't played him. We haven't used him. He's going to be a factor. And another thing, the middle of that defense for the Jets is sus. It's suspect at best. They're slow. They got old school linebackers. They're slow. They don't play very well in coverage. We got the Dalton and Dawson connection. I think that's honestly, I don't think Diggs has that big of a game. I think you see Dawson Knox and Kincaid get a little bit more love this game.
Mm.
It's gonna be a 24-17 game. I think we win by a touchdown. Aaron Rodgers is going to look nice at points, and he's going to look not so nice at other points. That offensive line for them, shaky. We're going to be blitzing a lot. Leonard Floyd being here, thank God we bring him in for this type of
Forgot about
situation.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm telling you right now, we win this game. You can put it down. It's not going to be pretty, but we win this game.
Can you speak to the loss of Tremaine Edmonds? Do you think that's going to be a factor?
Here's
this
my
year?
thing about Tremaine Edmonds. He is a great coverage linebacker. The problem with that man is he's horrible in the run. Not horrible. He's just not very good. He hits the wrong hole. He hits it too
You still
fast.
got Milano, right?
We still got Milano.
Yeah,
I think Milano, personally, I think Milano was the better of the two anyways. If I'll be honest with you. And that's a hole for us. And that is a hole. And they're gonna exploit that with their 2 running backs. I can promise you now, one of those running backs is gonna have a big run because we got fucking Terrell Berard starting in that spot.
Is y'all safeties back?
Oh yeah, both them
No.
boys are back.
Is DeMar Hamlin playing?
No, he's a backup. It's Poyer and Hyde. That's our dogs.
No, I'm saying. Oh yeah, he is a safety.
Yeah.
I'm saying, do you think he gets any snaps or anything like
No.
that?
And do you think Trey Day is like? Because I feel like last year Trey Day was like still kind of slow.
Yeah,
He was still kind of slow trying to recover. What you think?
in preseason he looked good, and everything I'm reading on reports, he looks like he's A-okay. Because last year he was slow. He came back. I don't know if he came back too early, and maybe that's why we're taking a little bit more time with Von Miller, because we've seen that, hey, if we rush these guys, they don't come back as good. So taking a little bit of time, but he did look a little slow. The game was fast. I mean, Trey Day, it's tough, man. You come off ACL, you're going against number 1 wide receivers nowadays. We had this conversation. Number 1 wide receivers, they're the best we've seen ever. I mean, these receivers.
Shit, number 2s. There's some number 2s that too. Yeah.
Like, you really can't afford to not have your best game against these. They're gonna make you look stupid.
Yeah.
So, I think he's back, and I think he's gonna be Trey Day that we remember.
So, Kayla, what you think about this game?
I think on paper, if you print out the rosters of both teams on paper, you'd be like, oh, the Jets got this one in the bag. You know what I'm saying? But it's kind of like what we talked about with the Falcons over right there. And I've switching my pick from the Jets to the Bills based on some of the facts this man has stated, and it kind of makes sense. I think there might be some growing pains for Rodgers with his new team over right there, with his new receivers and play calling and offensive coordinator. I mean, he's got Nathaniel Hackett there. But it's always every time we doubt them. If you ever notice, every time we doubt the Bills, and except for unless it's like an important game, every time we doubt them, they always show up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And is when you least expect it. When these dudes come out there and they put like 45 on your head, and it's like, damn, what the fuck happened? You know, I don't think that happens because I think the Jets are just too talented on defense to allow that to happen. But like I said, continuity. I've been saying this whole podcast about continuity. The Bills have more continuity than the Jets do. You got Brees coming back from an injury. You got Delvin Cook who's losing a step. Garrett Wilson is great, but who's the guys taking the pressure off him? Lazard, Randall Cobb. You know, you're not really worried about those guys. They're gonna zero in him like a fly on shit. You know what I'm saying? Every time he touches the ball. I think the Jets' best path to victory would be dial it up on defense. Don't give Josh Allen any kind of time to do what he wants. Set them old school linebackers back who know how to tackle. Wait on that, and just pound the rock and let the defense give you your offense. Just work from that. Don't try and force it or anything like that because both teams, whoever forces the ball, it could be a grave mistake. You know what I'm saying? Because I can see this one being, like Howard said, low scoring. You make a pick six or an interception or a fumble, that could be the ball game right there. You know, so
Yeah,
I think
definitely looking like a pick'em
I'm
game.
gonna
I feel
take the
like
Bills.
yeah,
Go ahead,
definitely a
sir.
pick'em game. It, I'm not gonna lie. As much as I want to say the Jets, and much as I want to say the Jets, I just feel like it's just they're coming off that hard knocks high. That the hard knocks high is gonna bring them like where they gotta have that one disappointing week. So as much, I'm just gonna stick with it. I'm gonna say the Jets. I think the Jets win this. I feel like it's probably a game-winning field goal, but like I said, I'm not like 100% confident on this game. All right, man. So to end this off, we're gonna get into a speed round on the games that we didn't cover. Just just pick the team you think gonna win. One or two sentences why, and we're just gonna go through them real quick. All right. So Texans Ravens.
Ravens, come
Ravens.
on, man. What? We don't have to
Ravens.
talk about it. We don't have
All
to
right.
talk.
Cool. Buccaneers Vikings.
Vikes.
Mm. I think the Bucks can sneak him, but
Oh no.
Go ahead, real quick.
that defense is so leaky. You know what I'm saying? It's so leaky, and I mean they have the, like I said, it's NFL. Anything can happen, and I think just to be toxic, I'm gonna take the Bucks to beat the Vikings that one.
I'm
Sorry,
going.
Vic. I'm sorry.
I'm probably going Bucks also because it's something about Baker Mayfield week one. Week one, like even last year when he was with us, week one, we honestly had the chance to win that game. It was crazy. All right, Titans Saints.
Oh, this is tough, man. Saints.
I'm gonna go with
Fuck it. They
Saints
at
because they're at
home.
home.
They at
Yeah, I'm
home.
gonna go with Saints. Yeah,
I'm with y'all right there with the Saints and uh Raiders Broncos.
Raiders.
Raiders.
Give me the
Raiders.
Raiders.
They
I
gotta
don't
prove it
lose.
first. Yeah,
Yeah.
Russ and them gotta prove it first. I like the Raiders.
Eagles Patriots.
Eagles.
Eagles.
Eagles and Green Bay Bears.
Bears. Bear down. Let's go.
I like the Bears too.
I
I
like
think they're gonna be. I think they're gonna be fun. I think they're gonna be exciting. That DJ Moore thing is gonna be big for Justin.
and then last but not least, we got the Rams versus Seahawks.
Seahawks. I got
Yeah, give me
Seattle.
Seahawks.
Let's see how else it is. All right, cool. Well, it's been a good first week back. We're gonna get back. We're gonna be more consistent. And I miss talking sports with y'all boys. And
Yes, sir.
hey man, it's good to be back. Y'all got
Yes,
any
sir.
final words?
Hey, every Saturday we'll be doing this. So Sunday morning, look out for this. You get your little scoop before you want to play some bets. Maybe I'll do some you know odds. Maybe play some of my bets in the channel so you can see. But yeah, this is gonna be an every week thing. So stay tuned, y'all.
Yeah, well,
Like kind of like Howard said, man. Tune in every Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon. We're gonna be making this, posting it up, hopefully before the games kick off, which is the ideal thing. You guys listen and tune in. As far as the betting goes, don't bet what you can't afford. Pay your bills first.
Yeah,
Then
yeah,
whatever
yeah,
you
yeah.
got
Very
left over.
responsibly.
Yeah, because I'm telling you, trust me, it gets
Scary.
out of hand. It gets out of hand. Don't go chasing losses. Just make it fun. It's supposed to be fun. And at the end of the day, you can win some money for your time for watching the game too. So
definitely,
good luck to
definitely,
everyone week one fantasy as well. I hope you guys all
definitely,
prosper.
definitely. Yo, I appreciate y'all. I appreciate anybody that listens. Yo, this has been the Stand Bounce podcast, the sport podcast of the people. Have a good day.